Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. This time we have a truly special deep dive, something I'm really excited about. We're diving into the story of Lin Yusu. He's a pretty incredible Taiwanese swimmer.
Yeah, and what's cool is we're going to be looking at his life through kind of a cool lens. We're going to be using excerpts from a popular Taiwanese podcast called JohnChat. Let's chat with John.
Yes, JohnChat. Let's chat with John. And the host is Professor John from National Taiwan Normal University. And, you know, this is a big deal because in 2024, he won the Golden Bell Award for Best Radio Host.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's like the Oscars for Taiwanese radio.
Yeah, the highest honor. Wow.
Exactly. And the episode we're going to be exploring is part of the series they're doing. It's called Yusu is Here. And this is actually episode 2 of that series.
Yeah.
So what's so special about Yusu? Well, he's a 2-time national record holder in swimming, which is amazing by itself, but he was born without arms. Yeah. So, you know, it's a story about overcoming these incredible odds. And what's really fascinating is that, you know, his journey into swimming didn't begin with dreams of athletic glory or anything like that. He actually started swimming as a teenager, in high school, and it was for therapeutic reasons.
Really? I would have thought with that kind of achievement that he would have started really young.
Yeah, you would think so. But, his doctor actually recommended swimming to help with his scoliosis.
Oh, okay.
Which, you know, is a condition that affects the curvature of the spine.
Right, right.
So, you know, the movements involved in swimming can really help to strengthen those back muscles and improve posture.
Right. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And this is where the story kind of takes, you know, a little bit of a sad turn. His parents had actually been trying to find him a swimming teacher for years, starting when he was just 4 years old.
Wow. Dedicated parents.
I know. But in their hometown of Penghu, no one was willing to teach a child without arms. Yeah, they considered it too risky, too different. You know, so can you imagine just the frustration and disappointment that they must have felt?
Absolutely, yeah.
Just constantly being told no.
Yeah.
You know, and being denied such a basic, essential life skill just because of something that was completely out of his control.
Right.
It's sad.
Yeah, that is sad. It makes you think about, you know, all those obstacles that people have to face just because they don't fit in a box that society kind of has.
Absolutely. And it just highlights the need for inclusivity and the need to challenge our own preconceived notions about what people can or cannot do. But the good news is, you know, this is not where the story ends.
Okay.
So someone did finally step up to help. Tell me, this is where it gets good.
Yeah, this is where it gets good.
Okay.
So there was a PE teacher named Mr. Lin Yusu who, you know, kind and dedicated, heard about Yusu's situation, and he offered to teach Yusu swimming for free during his summer vacation.
Oh my goodness, what a guy.
Talk about going above and beyond.
Yeah. This Mr. Lin is like the hero of this story.
Right.
But I can only imagine the challenges that he faced in trying to adapt traditional swimming techniques for Yusu.
Oh, yeah. He had to throw out everything he knew about teaching, you know, swimming because it's all about arm strokes and things like that.
Yeah.
So he had to work closely with Yusu to figure out, like, how to use his legs, how to use core strength to propel himself through the water. He even had to figure out, like, how to help him get out of the pool without arms.
Wow, the patience, the creativity. I mean, that's incredible. It really shows you, you know, when one person believes in another person, it can make all the difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that one act of kindness sort of created a ripple effect. So after he learns how to swim, Yusu eventually joins a swim team in high school.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine, you know, how daunting it must have been for him to be in that environment where everyone else, you know, seemed to have this physical advantage.
Right. And the podcast does touch upon this. He was very hesitant to, you know, fully participate in those practices and things like that. He was self-conscious, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's hard to put yourself out there when you feel different.
Absolutely.
But something must have shifted for him to eventually embrace competitive swimming, right? What was that turning point?
Well, he found a teammate who was incredibly dedicated to training.
Okay.
And that friendship, I think, was based on mutual respect and a passion for swimming. And that motivated him to take training more seriously.
The power of positive relationships, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing how one connection can just like spark that fire in someone and give them the confidence to push their boundaries.
Absolutely. And that wasn't the only pivotal relationship that he formed. His swim coach in Penghu, Mr. Liu Yulin, also played a crucial role.
Okay.
He recognized his potential and worked with him to develop a training regimen that would help him.
Wow, he was so fortunate to have all these people who believed in him when, maybe others didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did all this lead him to competitive swimming?
It did, yeah. And his first competition experience is, it's where it takes kind of an emotional turn.
Oh no, what happened?
Yeah. So while he was preparing for his first race, another competitor openly questioned his ability to swim,
Oh, man.
Yeah. And he even mocked him, which made him feel self-conscious and just really, really bad about being there.
Oh, my gosh. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Imagine after overcoming all of this to get to that point, you finally make it, and then somebody says something like that. He talked about how he just wanted to disappear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to be seen.
Yeah, it's a good reminder how some people can just be so cruel.
Right.
And just dismiss someone based on how they look.
Absolutely.
It's so sad. So what happened next? Did he let that experience stop him?
Well, this is where it gets incredible. So he finished the race last, just as he predicted. But as he got out of the pool, he was met with this incredible outpouring of applause.
Really?
From everyone, all the competitors, all the parents, the teachers, everyone.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was this collective act of encouragement that completely shifted his perspective. And it showed him that, maybe the world isn't as harsh and judgmental as he thought.
That makes me want to cry.
It's beautiful, yeah?
That's amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing how, people can be so kind. It's like, it's like they're saying, we see you, we support you.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to think that just like that one gesture, that round of applause changed everything for him.
Yeah.
Say it validated his struggle, and his right to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it really did. And from that point on, his training took on a whole new meaning. It wasn't just about therapy anymore. It was about proving to himself that he belonged there, that he could achieve great things.
It really does make you think about perception, like how we perceive ourselves and how other people perceive us.
Oh, right.
And that shift, in his mindset, it's pretty inspiring. Like going from feeling like an outsider to really embracing his place in the swimming world.
Yeah. It's a perfect example of how a positive experience can really change how you think about yourself. And then that unlocks all this potential.
Yeah. But I'm sure, some people are probably wondering, how does someone without arms actually swim? Yeah. How is that physically possible?
Yeah. Well, it's pretty incredible. He mostly uses these powerful leg kicks and really, really strong core muscles to move through the water. It's he's basically had to re-engineer the way you think about swimming.
I'm trying to picture it. I mean, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
To think about all the years of practice and, the sheer willpower. It's really a testament to, what the human body can do, to how adaptable it is.
Yeah. And the podcast actually talks about some of his training methods. His coaches really focused on building up that core strength through things like, planks and crunches, leg raises and all of that. And then for the leg kicks, it was all about explosiveness, power and precision.
It's like he turned himself into a human torpedo.
Yeah. Basically.
But, I imagine that competing against swimmers with arms, there must have been some unique challenges there. Did he start winning races right away?
Not really. I mean, remember he's going up against swimmers who have a very different physical advantage. But, I think it's important to remember that Yusu's story isn't really about winning medals. It's about pushing boundaries and defying those expectations that people put on him and, just proving to himself that he could compete.
Right. It's more about the personal victory.
Yeah.
Overcoming those limitations. Sometimes the greatest victory is the one that you have over yourself.
Absolutely. And as he trained, his times got better and better, and he started to make a name for himself in the swimming world. And, people weren't thinking of him as the swimmer without arms. He was a real competitor.
What's really inspiring, though, is that he didn't let those comparisons get to him.
Yeah.
The stares, the doubts. He stayed focused on his goals.
Yeah. The podcast host, actually, Professor John, he makes a really great point about this. He says that Yusu's story, it isn't just about overcoming physical challenges. It's about shattering the limitations that we put on ourselves.
That's so true. Those limitations that we think are there are actually not really there.
Right.
It's just us.
Exactly.
It's holding ourselves back. So, did all that determination lead him to compete, at a national level?
It did. And this is where it gets even more inspiring. He actually set his sights on like the best swimmers in Taiwan, the national championships.
Right.
A goal that a lot of people probably thought, like, no way. But Yusu, he doesn't care what other people think. He believes in himself.
So did he qualify?
He did more than qualify. He excelled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All those years of hard work and that unwavering dedication and that belief, it all paid off.
Wow.
He competed at the national level, and get this, he broke 2 national swimming records. Like, he's a legend.
I have goosebumps.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
What the human spirit can accomplish. I mean, the ability to overcome what seem like impossible obstacles, it's incredible.
What's really remarkable is that he didn't let his differences define him. He used them as fuel, like motivation to push himself further than anyone thought possible.
It's a message of, like, resilience and hope for everybody.
Yeah.
It makes you realize, a lot of those limitations that we think we have, we're putting them on ourselves.
Yeah, they're self-imposed.
Yeah.
Professor John brings up another interesting point. He says that Yusu's achievements actually helped redefine what people think of when they think of the word disability.
Yeah, that's important to look past the label.
Right.
And see the person.
Exactly.
Their strength, their passion, their abilities.
Yusu became a symbol for inclusion, and really challenged the way society views and interacts with people with disabilities. He's an inspiration, and not just for athletes, but for, like, everyone who is facing a challenge.
Yeah. I can only imagine how many people he's inspired.
Right.
To chase their dreams and to challenge their own limits. But I am curious, what events did he win? And what were those record-breaking times?
Well, that's a story for the ages. And we'll get into those details right after the break.
All right, so let's hear about these record-breaking achievements. What events did Yusu conquer, and what were those, like, incredible times?
Okay, get ready to be amazed. So he broke the national records for both the 50-meter breaststroke and the 50-meter freestyle. 2 national records.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, without the use of his arms, it's like, it really makes you think about what's possible when you push past those limitations that you think you have.
Yeah, and it shows you just how incredible the human body can be. Professor John in the podcast, he brings up this point that it's not just about raw talent or physical strength. It's also, like, mental toughness.
Yeah, the mental game, that's so important. We always talk about, like, the physical, achievements, but the mental aspect of it is just as important. What kind of mental strength are we talking about here?
I mean, imagine, like, the discipline to show up day after day and train and push through the fatigue and the doubts and all of that. And then to, like, compete in a world that really wasn't built for someone like him.
Yeah, I mean, that's like next level mental toughness that most of us can only dream of.
Exactly. And it's something that, you can apply to anything, not just sports. It's about having that drive, to pursue your passions and face those challenges and not give up, even when things are tough.
Yeah. And it strikes me that, like, Yusu's story, it's not just about breaking records, it's about breaking barriers, like those societal perceptions that we have.
Yeah, he's not just competing against other swimmers. He's competing against our understanding of what's possible. He's showing us that, like, disability doesn't have to limit you. It can actually be something that makes you stronger.
And he's doing it with, like, such joy and determination.
Absolutely.
I remember seeing a picture of him after he broke those records, and just the pure joy, the triumph. It's inspiring.
That's what makes this story so great. It's about the human spirit and how resilient we can be.
It reminds us that true success is not about, coming in first place. It's about the journey, the struggles, the growth that happens along the way.
And the impact you have on other people. His story has, like, touched people beyond swimming, He's become a symbol of hope, a reminder that we can defy expectations.
And his story really highlights how important support and encouragement are. His parents, his teachers, his coaches, they all played a part in helping him realize his potential.
Absolutely. It reminds us that we don't achieve anything alone.
Right. And sometimes all it takes is one act of kindness, one gesture, like that applause after his first competition. Mm-hmm. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't have that?
Yeah, that one moment had such a ripple effect. It's amazing to think about. Just a small action can change a life.
Yeah. So what's next for Yusu? What are his, like, future goals?
Well, he talked about wanting to represent Taiwan, like, on an international stage. He wants to compete in the Paralympics.
That would be incredible to see him compete at that level and, the message it would send to the world about inclusion.
Right. And just being an inspiration for other athletes, especially the ones who've been told, they can't achieve their dreams.
Yeah, Yusu's story really is proof that anything is possible if you have the courage to dream big and to put in the work and to believe in yourself. Yeah. Well, I am feeling incredibly inspired. What are your final thoughts for our listeners, if they want to learn more about Yusu or even hear his story, in his own words?
Definitely check out the full episode of JohnChat, Let's Chat with John. It's a really raw and unedited conversation that gives you a look into his journey. You'll hear him talking about the challenges and the triumphs and all the things he's learned.
It's a good reminder that, sometimes the best stories are the ones that we least expect, just waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining us today on The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.